Happy Motivation Monday, Fashion Dolls. It is Motivation Monday, July 13th, and welcome to another new episode of Style by Stevie. And we are here with the amazing Tom Paolino. Welcome back to the Dollhouse. Such a pleasure to have you back.
Evie, you look better than ever, and I know that you are inspired by all of the best energies available to any human being. And I am so glad to see you again. Thank you for having me back. I know you've been going through a lot, so I'm here to inject all of the positive energy, all of the light. The darkness is always there to to catch us in its grip, but the light is stronger than the dark. And here we go.
And I appreciate it, Tom. Yes, as you guys know, um, we're embarking on a new journey. This is moving week for me, so I'm going to be able to try to squeeze in a couple shows in while I'm in the process of moving. So I've been back and forth to and from my old house, getting things out of my room. My room was untouched. I know my father's room was also untouched. As far as my brother's room, the bathroom, our dining area, we're still retrieving things out of the home. So I'm thankful. And if you take a look at some of the my outfit of the day, the picture that I posted, those were some of the items out of my room. That photo of that pretty lady that's as I'm standing is a photo of a lady on the floor that came out of my room. I got that from a hair show years ago and
Mm,
it's still intact. So a
good.
lot of my belongings are still intact and I'm thankful. Shout outs to my brother K Toops, who was the first person that I called when the fire happened. Like I was in the car. My dad had to get the car from up under the carport because our carport and our entire porch, it had like screens. We have like a screen on our porch. That's caved in because it's been raining heavy down here in the Carolinas. But I thank God that I'm alive, that I'm here, that nobody
Amen.
was
Amen.
injured. My mom is alive. I just got off the phone with her. My
Oh,
dad is okay.
good.
Um, Puppy is okay.
Oh,
Unfortunately, the fire almost got her, and we wouldn't have had her any longer. But I went back in there and I got our puppy. And I have asthma, I have all of these breathing problems, but I went in, no mask, nothing, and I said, you know what? That's our baby. I'm gonna go back in and get our baby because my mom hollered for her. Her name is Coco, and typically she would follow behind my mom, but she's only 5 years old. She doesn't know any better, so we had to get her, and she's
you
fine.
you
She,
had
my mom.
frozen in fear, and you came like a warrior of God and snatched her in the light.
Yes, 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 yes. And I'm thankful. She's still here with us. My mom is okay. I just spoke with her a few minutes ago. My dad is okay. Everybody's trying to put the pieces of the puzzle back together, get things back to normal. And that's what I'm doing. So you guys will be on the journey with me. I don't have a show Wednesday and Thursday. Tom messaged me, I think it was yesterday, Sunday, and said, are we still on? And he didn't know. A lot of people did not know
I
because
know,
they
I
didn't
knew,
see.
I knew, I knew, but I know you and I know how you are, and I know that you suit up and show up in excellence no matter what the adversity. And this is, if I'm correct, the first one back since the fire. Is that right?
July 2nd, I came back. I
Okay.
surprised everybody.
Look
They're
at
just
that.
like, how did you come back so fast? When I was laying down in the bed because I was depressed because I wasn't doing something that I love, which is
Mm-hmm.
Style by Steve, which is hosting this platform.
Mm-hmm.
And I was brainstorming and I hopped up and a light bulb went off and I got on the phone and I called my mom and she said, call your aunt. My aunt is like my second mom.
Mm.
And I'll be doing a couple shows in her house. So you guys will get to see different, beautiful locales and all of that as I'm on the go in nice homes. But my aunt, thankful enough for her, that's my mom's younger sister. She allowed me to do a couple shows in there, and those were the first two shows that were done, July 2nd and then July 3rd, and then I think it was following week as well too. I lost count,
Yeah.
but yes, I'll be going back on the 16th and the 17th, and it's so peaceful where she's at. It's beautiful. So it's a little bit out of my element. So someone said, take the show on the road. And so I got on there and I called my mom. I said, let's do it. I'm ready to get back into it. But how will I get connection? So I thank the Lord that I was able, I had to go and buy one of those boxes,
Yeah.
and they are amazing. The hotspot boxes or internet hubs, and it works amazing. Like
Yeah. Well,
you can
you're
take it
Stevie.
wherever you
You're
go.
amazing and you are unstoppable. And I love how you are of service to other people and their light and their vision and their greatness. And I feel moved here today to reflect to you that you are great, that you have greatness and great light. And so let this be your moment. I understand that I'm the guest and all that, but let me step aside from all that and say, you are the guest of the light, the guest of honor, because your unstoppable qualities are an inspiration. And I know there are lots of people who agree with me, and your place is in the high castle. Your place is in the mountaintop, and I understand you've been through a lot and now new adversity. And I am just like you. I've always felt that we're alike. Since the very first time we got together, I was convinced that this is a sibling from another mother, and part of the journey here is that, sure, it's great to be supportive, but it's also great to claim your spot, your rightful spot in the light, in the high castle, on the mountain peak. And there's room at the top. That's the other thing, is that there's always room at the top.
Absolutely. And I receive all of that, Tom. Like you just don't know how that. A lot of people were saying that to me as well too. One of the post that I posted on my Facebook, which was, how am I going to come back from this? How am I going to regroup? And shout outs to my brother K Tukes. He said, a phoenix always rises from the ashes. And then one of my colleagues, Bub the God, was like, she came back and she was unstoppable. And yeah, I don't even know how I did it. It was just random. Laying down in my mom's bed here in her room and at my brother's house. And I was just brainstorming. I said, why not do the show somewhere else? Give people something to remember you by and make them want more and more. So we are going to do more. And just as the fire was happening that week, I had a lot of shows lined up. So it's like we're having to put all the pieces of the puzzle back together. Everyone that I had an interview set up with, they understand. Everyone's seeing it. They were calling, texting, checking. Thank you all so much. I'm okay. I know it's been wow, it's been like a whole month since that's happened. That was last month, June. We're now in the month of July, so it's still kind of new to me,
Yeah.
but I'm in the process of adjusting. And the new home, I absolutely love it. We are supposed to be moving sometime on the 15th. So we're getting things set and in order for that. And I'm like, I can't when I go back to the house, it's like so many memories because this house, my grandmother and my father built, for those of you who do not know, and it was built in the 70s. So I wasn't even thought of yet. So here I come in in the early 90s, 93. When I was born, my mom was pregnant with me in what, 92? So she's moving in. She said when they moved in, they had to do the same thing as they got married and they were having children. We came into the picture. They came in with boxes and everything. So today's show is solely focused on each show is going to have a theme each week, which is regrouping
Mm.
and adjusting. And I know for me, this is just a temporary setback, but something greater came in return. I saw this
Amen. Amen. That's
beautiful
it.
house and I showed it to my mom. My mom was like, "You sure you want to do this? You know, you." So I took a leap of faith. I stepped out and I said, "You know what? Let's go ahead and do it." It's 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and the I just love the painting, the color is great. And I said when I did my shows at the old house, you guys remember the backdrop with the green and the yellow. I
Hmm.
think Tom was there when we did our interview, and you guys remember that. That backdrop is no longer, it's destroyed. So, I was like, I would rather my life. I don't care about the backdrop. I can always go and buy another one of those. But to be able to be here and give you guys an amazing interview and conversation, something that you love. That room was beautiful. Yes, y'all seen my room. I took y'all on the tour, of my room after the house fire happened, and y'all seen like, wow, you got a lot of make. Yes, I've got a lot of makeup and stuff, so I got all of that out of there. Thank the Lord, nothing was damaged. You
And
know,
you're alive, Steve. You're alive, and
yeah.
and everyone is okay. And I mean, I've been thinking about the fact that we expel carbon dioxide, and the plants, the trees, turn the carbon dioxide into oxygen. That the symbiotic relationship of us and living plants is, I mean, it's a miracle, right? Life is a miracle, and you're a miracle, and you're alive, and you'll be doing amazing things because you're here for a reason. We're alive. Our lives are purposeful, and God has big plans for you.
And it's so much the abundance. When I went searching for homes, for houses, I said, this house is it. And it's like, a fairy tale. It's like a storybook. Everything has a happen ending. The new house in your room is going to mean more to you. Yes, and it does. It's so beautiful. Like, it has a fireplace. I do not have any intentions on using it. It will probably be used as a mantle to set. I told you guys I started collecting Barbies in what, 2023? That was when I started my new Instagram page again. And I said that would be perfect. So I already got in the back of my mind so many ideas of where I want everything to go. But it's going to be a process. I had a
No,
lot of
yeah,
things in the
you-
room, and we're still cleaning up. I know one of my frames fell off the wall. Fire knocks a lot of things over.
yeah.
And so when I went in my room, it was glass in front of my door. And so I had to go back and sweep that up. There's no power in the house. So we're literally having to move around, use flashlights and things so that we will be able to see, but still be careful because that inhalation is coming down from the ceiling. So a lot of that is in our living room. And I took y'all on one of my, if you guys looked at one of my most recent YouTubes lives, you'll see that when I showed y'all the tour of the house, how it looked and the damage that the fire did. But I'm optimistic. I believe, I don't know what my father's going to do with the house, but it's just time for a new start. It's time for a new start. That's what I think. And
Yeah. I mean, I can only tell you that I see people like, I don't know, RuPaul comes to mind. I have other friends. Well, RuPaul's not my friend, but I have other people in my mind. And I think, geez, Stevie, that's Stevie's belongs there. You know what I mean? And to me, I went through an adversity recently, which was horrific, actually. And I can tell you, 6 months later, it has made me stronger than ever. I'm a little bit older than you, so I have some experience to speak to, and I can tell you that it was a transition, and it was one day at a time. There were certainly mornings where it was hard to get out of bed, and yet 6 months later, I'm grateful for the as crazy as it sounds now. I'm nothing but grateful for it because it made me like a steel rod. I swear to you. I mean, I'm ready to take on the world. And that level of strength wasn't there before that. It just was, and it was God's way of strengthening me in a particular kind of fashion that only He can orchestrate in that particular way. So um, I don't have to be afraid anymore. I mean, I'm thinking about Martin Luther King Jr. When he's like, I've been to the mountaintop, and I may not make it, with you, but he was at that moment. He was he had transcended fear, and isn't that the thing, right? Isn't that the thing, to somehow transcend the dark energy, the fear, the anxiety, the depression, all of these things, you know. And I mean, I'm I'm here to tell you, like, you're the fact that you made it through that, it only means one thing, that that was designed to make you stronger and ready for the next level.
And I receive it. I receive it all. I'm looking at my brother K Tukes. A lot of times change is good. It just makes life more interesting to know what's coming next. Yes, and every day is a new chapter. So that's why I've been hinting on my Instagram, if you guys follow me, that there's a new chapter. I didn't want to reveal to anybody that, hey, until my morning lives, my morning walks, if you guys follow the morning walks, that's when I revealed it. And if everything that I post on Instagram is strategic, you kind of can get a little bit of my life story through the post. I don't really put my personal business out there like that. But that in that moment, June 10th, was transparency. That was all real. That happened. And I showed you guys the photos of the damage that the fire did and everything. But now it's just like me taking back my life. And I was telling someone this. I said, it's basically like learning how to swim all over again.
Yeah.
It's like learning how to crawl. A baby learning how to walk. You got to crawl before you can walk. That's what it's like for me for this journey right here. And I'm excited to see what is to come next. I'm a little nervous, and I've been telling people that I've been nervous, but they're just like, don't think of it as something amazing, something great. It's just like my brother Katuk said. Um, it makes life more interesting to see what's coming next. And I'm excited to see what's coming next. And this is me stepping out on faith because I was living in that house since I was a baby.
Wow.
Since my parents say, hey, since they tied that knot back in 1992, and then here I am, they're pregnant with me. I'm the third born out of four siblings, four brothers, two sisters. Out of all of my siblings, I'm the third born. So on my mom's side. But this is me now stepping out on faith because my brothers, they have their places. My sister, she had her place. May she rest in grace. And now this is me getting my own. And I every day when I wake up and I do my morning prayers and affirmations, I say, I pray for God to enlarge my territory
Hmm.
and to not only enlarge my territory, but to continue to keep opening doors for me. And there are so many doors that are opening, not off of this. That, and I don't want people to get that misconstrued in anyway. But before this happened, even doors were opening. And it just makes people appreciate the value of life because life is so short. And that day, it could have been taken from me in an instant. And my cousin and so many others said, things can be replaced. And shout outs to my colleague, Now's the Time, who's done a couple of shows with me as well, too. He said, nobody can replace Miss Stevie or Stevie. Nobody can replace you. So take this right here as a sign that you are grateful to be here for life and to be a vessel. As Tom was saying earlier, mid part of our interview, be that vessel for people, be that living testimony because you never know what a person could be going through in their life, what they're experiencing, because there have been people who you'd be amazed at how many messages I got from people who I've interviewed on my show sharing their testimony as well too. There's like they wouldn't believe it happened to me, but they're just like, this has happened to me also too.
Yeah.
And look where I'm at now. Take this as, hey, this is going to fuel you to your greater version of your new self. And I think of it as reinvention
100%.
because, yeah, that's what it is.
No, and the other thing that comes to mind, Stevie, is that it doesn't detract from anyone else becoming the greater or greatest version of themselves. You know what I mean? It's like there's an abundance. The world is made in abundance, and just because you rise doesn't mean you take anyone else's rising away. It's not how it works.
And there's enough, and I tell my brother K2's this because he's been so supportive. Tom, you too as well. K2 and me talk on the phone just about every day, and an interview or when I come on, hey sister, how you doing? He will call me or either he will text. My phone's out of storage space, so I've been having to delete things. Oh, I just hate it when you get that message saying your internal storage space is out. So I've been having to delete stuff out of my phone. But K Tooks will pick up the phone and call me, sister, how you doing? Is there anything that I can do? You got this. Before every single interview, he does it on his days off because I know he's off on a Wednesday, and he'll call in on a Wednesday to check in. And his mom, she's adopted me. She said, "Okay, that's my daughter." She calls me her daughter,
Mhm.
and I receive it. I receive it, and I love her just as much as I love my own mom and everybody. And she's been so supportive. K Tooks' mom, everybody, my colleague Bubs the God. Even though Bubs is in Indiana right now, he was also one of the ones that checked in because I told him, I said, K Tooks, spread this along to everybody, all of my guests that I've interviewed, pass it along. And then I'm going to go out and do a post as well, too, to let everybody know what happened.
Yeah.
Because that night we left and we went to stay in a hotel. And thank God for the Red Cross. They put us up in a hotel for a couple of nights. And
Mm.
we literally had to go from there. And
It's
so I said,
yeah.
Mama, I think it's time. I think
It,
it's time.
listen, it's a near death experience, Stevie. Right. So there is a very real thing there, and uh, keep sharing about it. With K Tukes, with anyone that you trust, because a near death experience is a very serious thing, obviously. And you may and you, I know, like for me, I take breakups really heavy. I get it. I'm a very sensitive person, also, and when and that's not a near death experience, but it feels that way. So all things being equal, I need to share about that for sometimes months. Where someone else might be like, "Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't. I'm not like that. I'm. I will. Things hit me hard." So the point of all this is that when you're about to make a leap forward, the I don't want to, I don't know what word to use, but let's just call it the dark side. um Tries to get you. you know I'm experiencing this right now. My film is going to South Africa right now. This is an
Yes, one of the good
unheard of,
ones.
right? And it's relevant to what we're saying, because I made a film in Buffalo for a very modest amount of money, and we shot it in 10 days, and now I'm going to Africa. Like, okay, like, I'm gonna get on a plane. I'm gonna fly halfway around the world. I'm gonna land in Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm gonna have a premiere there on the 18th of August. Then I'm going to fly to Durban, South Africa, and have a premiere on the 19th of August. And then I'm going to fly to Cape Town and have a third premiere in Cape Town on the 20th of August. And then the film is going to be in multiple theaters in South Africa. They're talking about 10 or more cinemas. Now, what's relevant about this, I mean, it's awesome, and it's great. And I want people to know uh, about it. And I want to make sure I mention that all of a sudden the dark side got really mad, and is in the process of coming after me. Now, I'm a reasonable guy. I'm not, I hold down a job. I have friends and solvency and stability in my life of all kinds. But I also am a spiritual person. And let me tell you something. This is a real thing. Like, it's no coincidence that I got catapulted to a global scale with this film, and now there's people actively trying to stop it. Active, and I won't go into exactly who it is, but they're friends of mine. They're like people that um don't mean any harm. It's just the nature of existence. I think that there are light energy and dark energy, and so my point is that this is most likely, I think, an indication that you're on your way to the next and in fact you are, right? Because you just told me that because the venues, because you're taking the show on the road, people are exposed to visual and aesthetic environments that they never would have seen before, right? Your auntie's house, eh, etc. And so, I'm obviously fired up because I see the truth, and the truth is that these things exist, and the only way to live an abundant life is to accept that they exist. That there will be another fire of sorts. Hopefully, not a house fire, but there will be another situation. I don't know what it will be that will not be pleasant, and that's fine. That's okay because I know I can handle it now. And then the whole game is changed at that point. Bring it on, because I can take the success, I can take the adversity, and nothing can stop me at that point, and nothing can stop you. And that's why I'm keep coming back to this.
And that's what it's about. And like you said, it piggyback off of what you just said. You know you're doing something right when you have people who are against you. They don't clap when you are doing something positive, when you are following your dreams, when you are following your endeavors, something that makes you happy, something that you love, your passion. Those are the people that you have to let go out of your life. And I've learned that as well too. People that not all the time clap or applaud for you. They're secretly plotting against you, or they want to see you fail. And the thing is, no, you will not fail. You will succeed. So congratulations to that. And one of our colleagues, shout outs to Alvin Tit for Tat, this and that. He is in South Africa.
Oh
He made
my
a
God.
move from Texas to South Africa, so he's there, and it's a big time difference from here in the United States. But that's
Yes.
what I'm saying. It just goes to show when you are doing something positive that is helping people and that is encouraging people, there are gonna be people that are gonna try to stop that are gonna try by any means to try to sabotage your success. And the thing is to not let them. And even with me, my brother K Tukes and me have a conversation. So I know he's still here. He tells me that sometimes people's like people are secretly jealous of you. I'm like, for what? I I mean, I'm just doing what anybody else, any other human being on this earth is doing, which is existing and creating and following my passions and encouraging other people to go after their passions as well too. So I'm like, what's to be jealous for? Because everybody, and I mean everybody, can go after what they love. You too can win. You too can be a success to anybody else. And that's the thing. A lot of people have to understand that if you put in the work, if you write things down, if you apply yourself, and me, I created vision boards. And that's another thing. My
Mhm.
vision boards are still where I left them on the door. And whenever I go back to the old house, I always push back my door and I do a mental checklist. Even though it's dark in the house, I take my flashlight and I just flash it on the board. And I just do like a mental check in, like, okay, I've done this. I've done this. I've done this. What's next? Season 22, season 23, and they will happen. I'm not giving up on that. And it's so much more. Yes, they are jealous of your success and your happiness. And the ones who don't want to see you win are because they are unhappy.
They don't
They're
know. You know
unhappy
what it
in
is, Steve?
themselves.
I pray for
Yeah.
them because here's the thing. Uh, they don't know any better. Like they literally, I don't think they know any better. It's like I mean, I forgive them because they don't in a sense they're innocent because they don't know what they don't know. You know what I don't think it's conscious or malicious or deliberate. I think it's unconscious, and therefore forgivable. I mean, I would need to forgive them even if it was deliberate and conscious and malicious. But it's my contention that they don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? I just think almost never is it deliberate and conscious and malicious. I mean, sometimes, but for the most part, it's they don't know. They don't know any better. They can't help themselves. They're sick, spiritually sick, so they can't help themselves, and that's easier to forgive, at least for me, than if they were like plotting and scheming and stuff like that.
And jealousy is a bitter poison. Jealousy is a bitter poison. And it is a sickness. People have to learn if you want something, if you're jealous of the next person's success, get up and you can have that same success. You know, These things were not given to the people that you were envious of. We've all had to work for our each and individual passions, our dreams, our goals. So the things that you're envious of the next person of, you can get up and you can have those things too. So if you want to act, if you want to produce, get up, check and see where they are doing local auditions. Get up and auditions. And yes, you're gonna be told no. But rejection is God's direction and
Yeah.
protection.
Yeah.
So he's going to redirect you where you need to be to that next chapter. And that's something that I've learned as well too. When you've had doors closed in your face, you have to go and take what little that you have. Tom is an example. He's with his film, one of the good ones. He said with the modest amount of money, because it takes money to do production, to do film. It takes these
Yep.
things. It's something that you love. And I say invest. Continue to invest in yourself if this is something that you want to do. Get your equipment. You'd be amazed at what you can take little to nothing and make your film. You'd be
I
amazed at
Yeah.
that.
No, I mean, look, I'll say this because I actually I don't mean to be abrupt, but I have to go to work in like 5 minutes. But
Okay.
I'll say this. Um, I want to um go out, shout, not a sigh. When my life is over, I want to go out singing, and that means getting on a plane and flying halfway around the world because I believe in my film. I believe in my film. I believe it came to me actually that there's a connection between South Africa and Buffalo, New York.
Yeah.
South Africa, when I was there in 2023, I just felt the heart of the mother, the heart of the motherland, the heart of life. And believe it or not, I feel that in Buffalo, New York. Why? Because Buffalo, New York has been through so much adversity, and adversity strengthens the heart. Not only that, but the pace of the film, it breathes. My film breathes. And in South Africa, the pace breathes in a way that it's different than the United States. So I have a vision. I foresee great things in South
Yes.
Africa for my movie because the heart of Buffalo and the heart of South Africa are in alignment, and the pace of Buffalo and the pace of South Africa are in alignment. So, um, I get chills just like just saying it. It's so unusual that you could make a connection between these two places, but that's the thing about art is that we're all under the same roof, and connections exist everywhere. Um, all the time. They're not always obvious, but this has become very obvious to me, and that is why I'm getting on the plane and going to South Africa, and I can see hordes of people coming to my film, and because it's the heart that matters, and the heart is where the home is, and everybody wants to come home.
Absolutely. And the film is titled one of the good ones. If you haven't seen it, Fashion Dolls, make sure you go out and you check it out. And Tom is fixing to go to work. So before we close, we're going to give you some gems of wisdom. Tom, what gems of wisdom would you give to the audience and the viewers on today's show? We just talked about reinvention,
Yeah.
reinventing yourself, coming back from, shall I say, tragedy to now triumph.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, the most the thing that came to mind first was that the whole world is trying to convince you to be something, you know, keep up with the Joneses, make a lot of money, get the
Yes.
pretty girl on your arm, and I strive to be true to myself. At the end of the day, what my goal is to be like, you know what? This is not for me. This is this may be for someone else, but it's not for me. And just to be honest with myself and other people, say, you know what? Um, I'm going this way. I'm going, and I'll find my tribe. I'll because it's just a mirror. It's just When I am in alignment with myself, I find my people, I find my jobs, I
Yes.
find my money, I find my shelter, I find my animals, I find my spot in the park. It's really very, very simple. And if something is out of line, out of alignment, I'm having trouble sleeping, it's on my mind, it's time to say something, to speak up and say, this, I'm going this way, and if and the people that are supposed to be with me will come.
There you have it. And my final thought: as long as you're alive, you always have the chance to start again. And that comes from Emily Acker, Fashion Dolls. So today's show was centered around reinvention, reinventing yourself, starting over, coming from tragedy to now triumph. And this is just the beginning journey. Like I said, this is move in week for me. So we're getting things finalized. I'm excited about this new chapter. I know it's going to be painful for me to go back to my old room and in the old house because I've done so many interviews, 1,000 to be exact, in that room, in that house. But now we can go ahead and build more beautiful memories together. And I just want to say thank you guys, Fashion Dolls, for reaching out, phone calls, text messages, DMs, how you doing, mental check-in, just to let me know that you care and you think about me. And that means a lot more than anything. And that because I've got 10, when it happened, I tend to think that like, oh my God, are people going to forget me? But no, people reached out instantly. You all did. You care. Thank you all so much for your unconditional love and support. And
Beautiful.
without further ado, go ahead, Tom. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying beautiful, beautifully said.
So before we wrap, Fashion Dolls, make sure you guys go and check out one of the good ones, Tom's film, which is out, and let everyone know where they can follow you, Tom.
Yeah, it's on Tom Paolino. I'm on Instagram. The film is on Prime Video. One of the good ones, made in 2026. We've got 123 global reviews, a 4.6 out of 5 rating now, and the best is yet to come. So find us on Amazon Prime. One of the good ones.
There you go, Fashion Dolls. And Wednesday, is it Wednesday or Thursday? Oh my God, I've lost count. Let me check the calendar so to make sure that I am right, Fashion Dolls. We do have two more shows this week, the 16th and the 17th. Thursday, Case will be joining me. And Friday, we have Andre Hollins. So make sure you guys set your reminders. If you're subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the first option, all, so you will get your notifications as soon as I'm on. And thank you all again. Tune in next week, not next week, but Thursday and Friday. I love y'all, Fashion Dolls. Till next time.
Much love.
Love you too.